This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
.9 FM Guardian Radio today. Good afternoon, Bahamas. This is Gabby, and of course today we are continuing our conversation from last week. Joining me in studio today is none other than the man you all love, absolutely adore. I will let him introduce himself. Is none other than co-host Mr.
Darvin Russell. Gabby starting early. Good afternoon, people. Happy Monday, everybody. We are here today, as promised, and we're going to chop it up, start talking today, finishing our conversation on healthcare and the situation, the healthcare, I don't want to call it, I guess you can say it's a crisis, the healthcare crisis, and some of our challenges in this area today, Monday, the 2nd of February. Hopefully, for many of you who started your New Year's resolution, you started off with a bang and you were made progress in January. It's now February. Take a look back. And if you didn't get on track, it's time to get on track. You got 11 more months to go. Still got plenty time to go. But Gabby, I'm excited to be here.
Awesome stuff. Listen, I just want to remind y'all that my birthday is on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just reminding y'all, I accept gifts. I like things.
Leave them right to the front desk.
Leave them right to the front desk. Thank you. And if it's divisible and spendable, preferably USD or BSC, make sure it's in an extra tight sealed envelope, okay?
All right.
So this is Davin. This is going to be my last Monday with you all for the next 2 weeks.
Okay.
Because I'm taking a vacation.
Love that.
I'm going to cruise, high seas.
Where you had the Caribbean, Europe?
Yeah, we're going to do a little Caribbean, something.
Okay.
Get away. So I'll be gone for 10 days, Davin.
Love that.
Y'all try not to miss me
we will try.
too much, okay? Y'all be on your best behavior. Nothing crazy go down while I gone.
Yeah.
No fires, Davin. I live in you in charge.
You know the season it in.
You have to make sure you leave God.
I'm leaving him unattended on Thursday. He sound like he got some things he need to get off his chest. So
God could be unattended on Thursday.
Yeah, shots fired. So I stay
Wally, I put you in charge of that. Wally is in charge of we making Wally God handler.
Yeah.
Because the people say, don't run your blood pressure up. Y'all, let's say hi to Garth. He's at home today enjoying this nice, good weather. But he say you could be listening in today,
under 4 blankets. I hope you get a little space heater because it's cold down in Adelaide.
While the rest of us hear my weather. Davin, take us through today's discourse.
So for those of you that follow us and are ardent followers of us on Guardian Today or Remark, we kind of began the discussion last week around where we are. And part of the conversation revolved around our own personal experiences with our loved ones or ourselves in dealing with the healthcare system and infrastructure that we have in the Bahamas. Now, many Bahamians, as you know, have experience with both the private side and the public side. My experience most recently has been, as you all know, as I have shared, with dealing with my father, who was in PMH for almost a week, dealing with his challenges. And I gave a shout out to the fantastic service that he received at Private Surgical, and in particular, his attending physician, Dr. Bartholomew, who was exceptional, and the nursing staff in the private ward who tended to him with extreme care. But Gabby had different experiences, and Garth talked about experiences with nurse on the private side, with dealing with dialysis work, and we got into that conversation around where we are in this country and some of the challenges. I did mention last week that I was not necessarily, if there's work that needs to be done, for me, the experience in the emergency room was not the most favorable. Although for us, we were able to, because we came by ambulance from Doctors Hospital, that allowed my dad, due to his condition, to receive relatively swift care, considering what he was dealing with. But I know that that is not the regular course for the average Bahamian. I, too, saw the folks on gurneys in the hallway, in the emergency room, and I know that we have challenges. We know that we have just come out of the, I guess you can say, the sick out or the work to rule situation with the nurses regarding their overtime pay discrepancy with the government. And Gabby, if you remember, although the Prime Minister indicated that measures are going to be put in place or have been put in place for this not to repeat itself, this literally is a repeat of itself because it happened just a year ago with the doctors. So I'm not sure why those measures weren't put in place last year to prevent the very situation that we're dealing with. So let me put some context to what we have, what we call healthcare. Healthcare, as we think about it in the Bahamas spends collectively about 7% of its GDP, so around $1.3 billion in cumulative healthcare spending in the country. That's what I said, 1.3 with a B, billion dollars. Of that, on the public side, what Dr. Darville manages as a Minister of Health is somewhat in the neighborhood of $400 million. Now, PMH has a 400-bed hospital. We know the challenges in Grand Bahama and our Family Island communities with adequate health facilities. But for the major one here in Nassau, we're talking about 400 beds. Those of you that have followed the news and pay attention to this space, you know that the government of the Bahamas recently got approved with China Exim Bank somewhere to the tune of, I think it's $280 million to build another specialty hospital. And that's going to be some 200 beds, so increasing the capacity that we have cumulatively between these two structures to about 600 beds.
So, Davin, let's break this down in layman's terms.
Yeah.
So that's about 1,000 beds per. That's about 1 bed per 1,000 persons available. If we estimate our population to be about 400,000 people, that means there is only 1 bed available per 1,000 persons. Wow.
Yeah.
And with that being said, then, in your research and the information that you have, how many persons within that 1,000 checks in to our public hospital system?
So what we have is PMH sees on average about 55,000 patients a year through the Accident Emergency Center. You have talked, and we have many ministers of health, even before Dr. Darville, always talks about the understaffing, the chronic need for us to have more physicians in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. So I did some research. And we have about 900 to 1,000 registered physicians in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
This is doctors.
Doctors in total. Now, if you argue that the average doctor can see 1,000 patients a year, technically, 400 doctors should be sufficient at the GP or internist level to see 400,000 people. So if each Bahamian or resident went to the doctor just once per year, that's 400,000 visits. So you following the math? If each doctor can see 1,000 patients a year, you only need 400 primary care physicians. Okay? So the other half can be devoted to specialties and subspecialties. Okay? So if you look at it in that context, it would appear as though we have adequate physicians in the country to deal with our health situation, then why then does it seem as though we're going from crises to crises? And that is more a function of how those resources get allocated rather than whether or not there are sufficient of them. We now have national health insurance, at least with the National Prescription Drug Program and a modified preventative care program on the national health insurance, but we have a lot less physicians available under that scheme. Somewhere in the neighborhood of 150 physicians have signed up to accept NHI patients. And of course, because only 25% of Bahamians have private health insurance, the bulk of us are essentially uninsured patients dealing with PMH or paying out of pocket for healthcare services. So it creates a disproportionate burden on the public system because the private system does not absorb as much as they can to alleviate that pressure because there ain't the money to pay those private doctors from us in the 65%, 75% who don't have health insurance. So that's the problem that we have.
Wow. So with that, that then leaves this gap that we have in the healthcare system.
Yeah.
So what do you propose can be done to fix this? Because we're always on this show, we've been going over all the problems, and our callers often ask us, what are some of the solutions that can be found to correct this? Is it too far gone? Does the hospital need to be imploded? There's no way it can be fixed, and we need to find a way to outsource all of this, or can we fix this?
I don't believe that I have encountered a problem in the Bahamas that's not fixable. So let's start there. I do think, however, that we look only at one component of this situation too often, and it is after the person gets sick. So we focus purely on the wellness side of the Ministry of Health and Wellness and not enough on the health side. Many of the things that plague Bahamians are preventable conditions. And rather than paying lip service to it, we have to put more focused attention to making sure we are healthier as a people. I was talking to my family a couple of weeks ago about this issue. And for example, it should be mandatory that every Bahamian go to the doctor once a year. Mandatory. Under a national health insurance scheme, a fully funded one, that should be a prerequisite. If you do not go to the doctor and you miss your appointment, you got 365 days to do it, then we charge you, we penalize you for missing your doctor's appointment. We do that because we know statistically, empirically, that if you catch many of these conditions early enough, you can reverse them. Yes. So that would be my first policy change. I would make sure that everybody goes to the physician. Secondly, I would pay attention to the food. So I think we already have, duty-free access essentially on a lot of fruits and vegetables. But I would make sure that all fruit, all vegetables, all whole grain, all healthy meats and seafood is duty-free. I think we have to make good food as affordable as possible. And then I would launch a very extensive neighborhood community farming initiative where you should not be able to go half a mile and not have access to a neighborhood garden that provides highly subsidized food that's managed by residents of that community. So I should go, I could be in Kalani where I live now. My family lives in Southern Shores and in Tall Pines. I should be able to go in any of those communities. For those of you who live in Centerville, who live in South Beach, it doesn't matter. I should be able to go within a half a mile, preferably walking distance, to be able to the nearest school on a Saturday or whichever government facility you use to do this, and be able to pick up a basket of fresh fruits and in-season vegetables for $5, let's say. The government then has provided, like they do at CV Bethel, who has an exceptional farming program, that should be spread across every single school, primary, middle, high school, because our schools are strategically positioned in our communities. So it would be those three things that I would start with, and then use the University of the Bahamas to do some empirical studies on pre and post health outcomes when you implement those things. I do firmly believe that if people had affordable, healthy options, they would eat better. The last thing that I would say on that point that I think is important for us is I do think that we have to give some serious consideration as well to when you look around and you see the challenges of obesity and those kinds of things that plague our country, and you know that so many of those conditions are reversible. We have to take that personal responsibility also as citizens to eat better. My brother always says that the cost of healthy eating is too expensive. So we have to make things way more affordable.
If I could get a fill-up.
That's correct.
If I could get a fill-up.
Yes.
For $5,
yeah.
because that's all I have.
That's
When the studies have been done, we've seen what the poverty line is. So that's all I have. I could get that fill-up meal, and what that comes with,
Yes.
I could probably even share that with my kids.
That's correct.
I'm gonna get that fill-up
That's
versus I have to find about $30 to just be able to get a leafy green
Right.
salad.
Yeah, very true.
So that's something they talked about, taxing the bad food. What are your thoughts on that?
Those are called like sin taxes. I don't know how I feel about that. I'm not against it, but I don't like it when we demonize certain foods. I get the incentive or the disincentive that the taxation would hopefully provide, but I personally don't want the government in my business about what I eat. If I can have my ice cream and still work out, I don't need you telling me I can't have my ice cream or making ice cream so astronomically expensive that I can't afford to eat it. I don't know if I'm comfortable going that far with the policy. I see the wisdom of it, but I think we have to be careful when we move along that vein, because then now who decides what's good or not? Some people believe that sugar inherently is evil. You just should not eat sugar. I don't.
But the body
personally-
needs it
Exactly
to
right.
produce
I don't personally
carbohydrate.
feel that way. So that would be my cautionary tale on that point. But it has its merits.
Listen, we are just wrapping up this healthcare conversation, but later in the show, we're going to get deeper into some other matters seen over the weekend that the Progressive Liberal Party just yesterday on Sunday ratified its final slate of candidates, its final 13 candidates, the lucky 13, bringing its candidate ratification to a close. We know you have a lot of thoughts about that. We know you have a lot of things to say about it. We know you want to be a part of this conversation. And before we go to a break, we're going to give you the phone lines to call to join us in conversation today. So the numbers to call is 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, and anywhere from our beautiful family of islands, 242-300-5720. The text line powered by BTC is 422-4796. Don't forget you can stream us wherever you go on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app. This is Guardian Radio Today. We'll be right back.
You try to rest, roll with the best. For all your printing needs, there ain't no one better, no. For posters and banners, magazines and flyers. For window decals, greeting cards and newsletters. No job too big and there's no job too small. You name it, we can print it, just give us a call. Let Print Masters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
Get ready for the biggest football game of the year, Super Bowl 60. We have the best seat in the house for you. Join Star 106.5 All-Star Team live at Anthony's on Paradise Island on Super Bowl Sunday, February 8th from 2 to 6 p.m. Enjoy giant screens, delicious fun food, ice-cold Calig Bear specials, prizes and surprises non-stop. It's the place to be for Super Bowl Sunday. Anthony's on Paradise Island. Watch the Patriots take on the Seahawks.
Touchdown! Seahawks!
The Star 106.5 All-Star Team will be there to cheer you on from 2 to 6 p.m. It's the biggest Sunday of the year for the biggest game of the year, Super Bowl 60. live at Anthony's on Paradise Island. Don't miss it.
The Patriots take
Love the show? Want to give your support? Become a sponsor today. Call 302-2300 for our rates and packages. That's 302-2300. Become a sponsor on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Boy, you know what going down tomorrow?
Nobody, what happening?
Joe bringing these knives to school. He could do Junior in.
For what?
Boy, he fooled with Joe girl.
Mother sick. And you know Junior don't back down for nothing. So that means you got a big fight tomorrow.
So whose side you on?
Side? I trying to stay in school, not Simpson Pen. We gotta tell somebody about this fight.
Tell somebody. I ain't no snitch. I mean cool, you know.
Boy, if you so cool, then you need to stay in school and stay out of the fight.
Yeah, but if I don't hang on Joe's side, how many boys coming for me next?
Alright, so we definitely gotta tell somebody. We gotta prevent the fight.
What I say, I don't want nobody call me snitch.
We could just call Crime Stoppers. You could report what you know, and nobody gotta know it's you.
So what are the boy?
All you gotta do is call them, or you text them through the Crack Crime Bahamas app, and nobody can know it's you.
Then the police come looking for me for more info, and when they finish with them, Joe them coming looking for me?
When you call Crime Stoppers, the calls go directly to Miami, and they don't ask nothing about you. Then you can get the pen from them, and you can claim a reward later using that same pen. Plus, everything's scrambled, so nobody can read what you're saying.
Calls 328-8477 from Nassau or 242-300-8477 from the Family Islands.
This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM.
.9 FM Guardian Radio today. You are in the company of Gabby and Darvin. And listen, Texas, we're going to be getting to those text messages today. We promise we'll be better. So this text reads, "Good day indeed. I noticed Guardian on today. I think he mad from yesterday when I sent a text message saying Darvin was 100% right. Tell him no hard feelings." Man, your line ain't God bad. God, by the time Scott walk out the studio, he done probably forgot what you even said.
Gone.
That done gone through one end. Come on the next. This next text reads, Davin, "I 100% agree with your suggestions in principle, but they need some further review. Yes, everyone should go to the doctor. What percentage of the population currently gets an annual? If you forced 450,000 people to go to the doctor, how long would the waiting list be to see a doctor? Finally, the penalty forcing everyone to pay with what? What's the reason they don't go? And if they do go to PMH, has blank to get anyone to pay?"
These are valid points that you guys are making, but you have to bear in mind that you have to decouple preventative care from chronic conditions or from emergencies. When I say everybody goes to the doctor, those are preventative measures. So you're going to the doctor one visit. Whatever time slot that they give you, or you go and sign up with your primary care physician, that is the slot for your annual for that particular year. There should not be any quote-unquote wait time as long as you have the capacity in the system to deal with it. And as it relates to who pays, we have to determine, well, if under national health insurance right now, the government pays the bill in full. I'm saying futuristically, as you put more people through the system, obviously they're going to have a national health insurance tax. There has to be some type of measure that they can do to recoup funding so that the program is sustainable. Right now, for example, the government funds essentially 100% of the cost of PMH, right? You say it's because you pay taxes, but that model is broken because you pay taxes, but the government also pays for private health insurance for many civil servants. So the government, in essence, is double paying for health care in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. But all valid points, but those things are very easy things to work out as you manage through some of the issues that you all raise in those text messages.
Well, we got some more text, Davin. It seems they are very interested in your discourse. This next text says, "Good afternoon. I agree with the points being made by the gentleman. However, where we disagree, the first change needs to be economic increase. How can people afford the good foods while making $210?
I can't fight you on that. But bear in mind now, those people are affording, and I'm putting that in quotation marks. I understand the challenge, but those people are affording to eat. If you were listening from the beginning, Gabby mentioned that if a fill-up costs $5 in food, we're saying that the unhealthy options are oftentimes cheaper than the healthy options. And all I'm saying is in the model that I'm presenting to you today is we would have a degree of equilibrium between those two choices. So I believe that if a mother can go and buy a whole chicken, some rice, and some vegetables, and she can pay in total for that meal $20, and that feeds a family of 4, so we're down to $5 per meal, she would choose that rather than buying 4 fill-ups for the same amount of money.
Well, let's see what the callers have to say. Caller, you're live on Guardian Radio today with Gabby and Darvin. Caller? Is caller there?
Guys, we're going to try to get to you as quickly as possible. You can call back. Next caller.
Good day.
Good day.
Oh, how you doing, sir?
We're fantastic.
Listening to the radio. And I have to say, government, that's a very interesting point you raised.
Thank you.
About, the government managing the cost of the hospitals from taxation, and on the second hand, spending monies through private for additional insurance or insurance coverage for employees. Correct?
Yes.
And then the caller said, I think a texter said, then the whole goal would be then important to increase income or our economic activity. So taxation could then be overcompensation to assist in or to ensure that they can meet the needs of the hospital. And I think that's where we are in terms of how do we determine which road do we take?
Absolutely.
We look at putting more monies in the hands of citizens to spend more, or do we sell more of what we own to compensate for the losses that we can't compensate through taxation?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Look, these are not by any means easy decisions. I'm not trying to say that they are, but they are necessary. Yeah. And for too long, we've kicked the can down the road because we don't want to make the hard decisions. So now we end up with a system that doesn't serve anybody well.
Okay, because now we have an economic collapse.
There you go. There you go.
And what if that's what we need? What if that's exactly what we need in order to see where the minds are that we need to help us out of it? Because everybody just offer personality and popularity versus equity. He really know what to do.
You know, in a moment of crisis is when ingenuity and creativity gets formed, right? So I can't even argue with the logic of what you're saying. Absolutely.
Because David would never get recognized if Goliath didn't challenge everybody in Israel and say, "Come beat me if you want to get out." Okay, so that's God works. And
Very
so
well.
We have a quagmire, but there are solutions. But are they listening?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I thank you for giving me the opportunity.
No, man, thanks for your contribution.
Thank you so much for your call, caller. Next call on the line.
Hi. Good day, folks. How are you?
Good day. Fantastic.
We're good.
Okay. Mr. Darvin.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, God. Is it D?
It's Darvin with a D. Yes, ma'am.
D?
Yes, with a D. Darvin.
Okay. You mentioned a lot of stuff just now about going to the food store and getting this and that and all of that. That's affordable, right?
It is.
But do you know that one ingredient you missed?
Okay.
There are a lot of people who don't have stove to cook that on.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
And they're using the propane gas.
Yeah.
And you go to the food store, it costs a lot.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay? It may not be a lot to you. You understand? And even people who get like diesel bags and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
There's no propane gas. Don't give me no chicken. Don't give me nothing that's perishable.
Yes.
That's for me and my children.
Yeah. Because no electricity, right?
Yeah. No fridge to put it in.
So.
I mean, no fridge, even put it in.
Yeah. I get what you're saying.
That's what's happening. the propane gas.
Mm-hmm.
You hear me? Okay. That's what I want to say.
No, I'm happy you said that because that's a level of extreme poverty that you need to consider.
I am telling you, what I can do with that chicken when you get that chicken.
Yeah.
And people
If I don't cook
well,
it now.
and I can see that,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you give me that raw, whatever, you give me
Yes.
raw, and you give me even all whatever,
Yes.
right? For me and my children, how are you going to cook that? What are you going to do with that?
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Give me the propane gas too. I'm not saying, okay,
Yeah.
I want everything, right? But if you give me the tomato paste,
Yes.
listen, keep the tomato paste and give me the propane gas. That's what's happening in this country right now.
That's such. Thank you so much for that
Thank you so much
contribution.
for that call, caller.
So let me recalibrate, Gabby. So if I think I paid $200 for my oversized tank of propane.
Oh, you have the big.
Yeah, I have
one.
the super tank because it runs my generator and my heater and my
okay.
stove, and that lasts me about 2 to 3 months, I would say. So we're
But
running
would it
about.
cost you to get that?
Yeah,
now?
that's
so
what
you're
I'm
looking at that.
Yeah. No, so I'm trying to do the math in my head to see the caller's point in terms of the cost. So if you're using those small propane tanks, I'm not sure how quickly they're refilling
the
them.
ones for $20, that isn't going to last you long. Because if you're cooking, as this caller mentioned, you don't have anywhere to store the food. So you're
Okay.
buying food as you go. You cooking every day.
Yeah.
You cook multiple meals per
Per
day.
week, and you go to the grocery
Per
store
week. Within a
per day,
month,
yeah.
maybe you will have to refill that.
So then I
$20 to
would
$30.
say, so let's I have this principle called extreme budgeting that maybe would apply more succinctly to this situation. So you got to probably go old school. You may have to go back to tree rock cooking if that is the case.
You know how much people know?
No.
These people even know how to cook on the rock.
No, follow me. I'm saying if you, for example, in Europe, they go to the grocery store way more frequently than we do because they have very small refrigeration capacity in Europe. They don't do the big wide and freezer in the pantry thing. They don't do that. They go to the store 3 times a week. The people that she is referring to are those people who cook for a day, eat for a day, there's no leftover because there's no refrigeration, and to her point, propane is expensive. Got it. So you still have to, even if you use my chicken example, when you cook that day, that has to be consumed that day in its entirety. Because tomorrow you're going back to get another portion of vegetables and food. Now, when you're talking about the shelf-stable meat, there is no real, I guess you can say, solution to now fresh meat for you to cook. Because if you don't have electricity to keep the refrigerated item, my solution does not help you in that regard. We do have to think holistically about this problem, but I would say to that is where a government program around the subsidized electricity for the first 200-300 kilowatts per month is utilized. In other countries, it's a pay-as-you-go electricity system where it's almost like a meter. If you need 2 hours of electricity today to get your cooking done, to refrigerate, to do whatever, you pay for that just like you do your prepaid phone card. So if you remember, BPL was thinking about doing smart metering. Those are some of the things that can help with, because there are countries that have mastered that kind of technology. I am not, it's not lost on me that these are multi-layered challenges. I'm saying if you dissect the problem and manage it one step at a time, at least for the population of people who may be poor but not so poor that they still have power, my solution works for. Then we have to step it up to another level of solution to what the young lady is saying, to deal with those who don't have power, to provide them at least a rudimentary level of power or propane that is affordable and sustainable for families that are in that level of poverty. Caller, you're on the air with Gabby and Darwin.
Hey, good day. How you doing, Darwin?
Hey, buddy. Good, man.
Gabby, how you doing?
I'm good. I haven't heard this voice in a long while.
Yeah,
Happy New Year to you.
Singing to you all. Happy New Year to you both. I think I wished that to you already, Darwin.
Yeah, I believe so.
Happy New Year to yourself, Gabby. 2026, God's blessings.
I
And
appreciate
the
it.
same goes to the nation. Good
Yes, sir.
afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I didn't catch the initial parts of your conversation. I came in when you were talking about insurance.
Okay.
And I wanted to add that, I don't consider double dipping at all as it relates to insurance, simply because, as it stands, Princess Margaret, in no way, shape, or form, has the capacity to deal with just the general public coming in on a day-to-day basis for even emergency services, right? Certainly, we don't have the capacity to deal with catastrophic cases on any large magnitude, not through PMH currently, right? And there's a saying in the country, you experience something major with your health, almost like a death sentence.
Yes.
Sadly, right? And then, of course, trying to put measures in place.
You're cutting out, Anton. Wherever you are, the signal is dropping.
Can you hear me better?
Yeah,
yes,
much better.
Perfect.
Right. And so the government is now trying to facilitate catastrophic care by increasing the funding, right? And even with that increase in funding that the government has provided, we are nowhere near what is required in order to facilitate even all of the public service.
You know why that is, right?
Much less the entire country.
You know why that is, right?
But it is doing great. And so it brings me to the point that the private insurance that is negotiated through primarily union agreements across the government sector is absolutely necessary. Also, Gavin, when you look at the fact that the remuneration packages for civil service based upon the work that is required is minimal, right? I think the government just had an entire discussion regards to that, and they did a study to show where each level of government employee is, from support staff to senior staff to mid-management to upper management, et cetera, right? And we are deficient in many regards, right? And so that package of insurance is absolutely necessary, especially if you're trying to compete to get a certain level of competency within the civil service, right? And I'll end with this. As it relates to this entire situation, one of the callers spoke about an economic collapse. I'm like, no way. Are they kidding? What we need is an economic reset, not an economic collapse, right? We need a redistribution of wealth. How wealth is distributed in this country, that's where the unfairness comes in. That's where the impropriety comes in. That's where the inequality takes place in the distribution, the current distribution of wealth. We need to break that status quo, and I'll end with this point. If we're going to see even the most basic or even the most lowly of the ladder of the economic forward chain survive in this country,
yes,
we need to elevate the most basic form of salary in this country to bring it to a level where, at the most basic level, all persons who are working in this country can afford at least some level of living that's standard.
All right, we'll have to leave it there, Anton. We're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, next callers, we will get to you as quickly as we can. You're listening to Guardian Today with Darwin and Gabby.
Get ready for the biggest football game of the year, Super Bowl 60. We have the best seat in the house for you. Join Star 106.5 All-Star Team live at Anthony's on Paradise Island on Super Bowl Sunday, February 8th from 2 to 6 p.m. Enjoy giant screens, delicious fun food, ice-cold Calick Beer specials, prizes and surprises non-stop. It's the place to be for Super Bowl Sunday. Anthony's on Paradise Island. Watch the Patriots take on the Seahawks.
Touchdown! Seahawks!
The Star 106.5 All-Star team will be there to cheer you on from 2 to 6 p.m. It's the biggest Sunday of the year for the biggest game of the year, Super Bowl 60, live at Anthony's on Paradise Island. Don't miss it.
Wait, you know what's going down tomorrow?
No way, what happening?
Joe bringing these knives to school. He could do Junior in.
For what?
Wait, he fooled with Joe girl.
Mother sick. And you know Junior don't back down for nothing. So that means you got a big fight tomorrow.
So whose side you on?
Side? I trying to stay in school, not Simpson Penn. We gotta tell somebody about this fight.
Tell somebody? I ain't no snitch. I mean cool, you know.
Wait, if you so cool, then you need to stay in school and stay out of the fight.
Yeah, but if I don't hang on Joe's side, him and these boys coming for me next.
All right, so we definitely gotta tell somebody. We gotta prevent the fight.
What I say, I don't want nobody call me snitch.
We could just call Crime Stoppers. You could report what you know, and nobody gotta know it's you.
So how did I work?
All you gotta do is call them, or you text them through the Crack Crime Bahamas app, and nobody can know it's you.
Then the police come looking for me for more info, and when they finish with them, Joe them coming looking for me?
When you call Crime Stoppers, the calls go directly to Miami, and they don't ask nothing about you. Then you can get the pin from them, and they can claim a reward later using that same pin. Plus, everything's scrambled, so nobody can read what you're saying.
Call 328-8477 from Nassau or 242-300-8477 from the Family Islands.
You try to rest, roll with the best. For all your printing needs, there ain't no one better, no. For posters and banners, magazines and flyers. For window decals, greeting cards and newsletters. No job too big and there's no job too small. You name it, we can print it. Just give us a call. Let Print Masters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
Love the show? Want to give your support? Become a sponsor today. Call 302-2300 for our rates and packages. That's 302-2300. Become a sponsor on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM.
.9 FM Guardian Radio Today. You're in the company of Gabby and Darvin, and we are just wrapping up our healthcare conversation that we started last week. Caller, we see you on the line. We know you've been holding for a bit, so we're going to go straight to the phone lines. Caller, you're live on Guardian Radio Today.
Yes, greetings.
Greetings to you.
You know, I listened to Anton, right? And, you know, the last thing he said was kind of okay, but, you know, ain't nobody support a livable wage for the Bahamians, you know, for the poor Bahamians. You know, and this his thing about the government must pay private wages for their workers.
Right. Yeah.
That's criminal. You know, with the government, I mean, in order to compete, all the government needs is a mandatory health insurance through NIB. You know what I mean? Deal with insurance and pensions. Mandatory, bro. Government needs an investment in health as well as an investment in education, point blank.
Yeah.
You see? And you know, all the gymnastics and things, that ain't working with that only benefits with the private insurance.
Yeah.
You understand me?
I do. I do.
You know, and you yourself realize that you was able to afford what you call it, the private ward, private medical ward. You understand what I'm saying? Imagine now. You know, when you do see, you can a poor parent, right? So you got 3 kids. Single parent now, many of them, they got to buy 3 meals for those 3 children as well as themselves.
Yeah.
They got to bathe them. They got to buy clothes for them, maintain their clothes, wash their clothes. You understand what I'm saying? They got to get them to on the bus. They got to pay out what you call it a daycare.
Yes.
You understand me?
No, it's absolutely unsustainable.
It's not possible.
Yeah.
You have professionals who can't afford this Bahamas. Judge a poor person or person living. Come on, man.
No.
You realize that you have some people in this country.
Yes.
In the public service, have pensions of $70,000 per year. You realize that, right? And many at 40,000. And then you have others for $800
Yeah.
and some at even less.
Right.
We got to get real.
No, and I think your point is so valid, caller, because, I don't know if everybody is familiar with the term means testing, but what means testing does is it says that those groupings of people who cannot afford to pay don't pay.
Right.
So
See, one more thing
go
before
ahead,
you
sir.
hang up. I don't want you to hang up before I say this one
go
thing.
ahead.
You know, when you talk about investing, right? You know, everybody have these investment shows, but when you invest as a shareholder, when you make a shareholder makes profit, somebody is losing.
Yeah.
Everybody can be profiting.
Yeah.
That means somebody has to lose. You know, when the government, when something is privatized, a public entity is privatized, you get shareholders.
Yeah.
Come on, man. That means a lot of people are losing.
Yeah.
They are losing while the shareholders are gaining. So let us be responsible and take care of the people that are in
That's
need.
such a great point.
Thank you much.
Thank you,
Wow,
sir.
thank you so much, caller, for that.
Caller, you're on the air.
Yeah, good day. How you doing?
We're good. Can you speak up? Get closer to your mic.
Yes, sir. You can hear me now?
You still sound a
little
bit
better, but
far.
are you on speaker? Take yourself off speaker. Maybe that
myself
helps.
off speaker.
Oh, there
Yeah.
you go.
You take myself out
There you
because
go.
you
There you
stand
go.
yourself up because I don't live there. You are.
Okay. Well, you will hear us within the phone, eh?
No, I mean, it seems as if your station, I don't know if y'all will be turned down low.
Oh.
It's like you can't hear.
Okay.
But anyhow, you can hear me now, right?
We can, perfectly.
Okay, yeah. In reference to like medical, oxygen. Like a person's like need oxygen.
Yes, sir.
Do you think like if a person is in dire straits need oxygen, they have to get a doctor's prescription if they have to go like to welding and fly by that cylinder of oxygen and get the mask from port? You think like it should be mandated that people get that doctor's?
I'm wondering if you're talking about the headline in the Tribune today, because we were actually going to touch on that. I see they're saying prescription drugs being dished out like candy. There are a lot of things that people were getting.
Yeah, but the pills, PILS, KILS, it rhymes well, and I think it fits together perfectly. Pills, I ain't talking about them poison pills. They're talking about oxygen. Like air that you
the
breathe.
tank.
I mean, like, why is it that you can't oxygen, but you could get pills, but you can't get oxygen?
I actually don't know the regulations around that, but I do know it seems to be only be able to be dispensed in a hospital setting or a doctor's office. I don't know.
Mean, like, even like persons
I don't
who do
know.
welding and stuff is like it's only allocated to certain persons.
Yes, sir.
Right? But my irony is that if I know oxygen can be explosive.
Okay.
Right. But do you think it's fit for, like, to say, oxygen and hydrogen to be stored like in a close proximity to schools?
You're asking if it's
Yeah,
proper?
yeah. I'm talking about like bulk storage, 40 foot, like.
Well, I'm definitely not a chemist, so
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the protocols are and why they are the way they are. So I certainly wouldn't want to be irresponsible in answering that particular question.
But we
That is
know
completely out of my
oxygen fuels
wheelhouse.
fires as
Yeah.
well. So
yeah, because I know for a fact that oxygen,
Mm-hmm.
it gets explosive when you introduce oil.
Sure.
Right.
Well, a
And-
light source. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, like, how could the government give, like, by St. Thomas More School, the corner that heads towards it's the red light by St. Thomas More, right?
Yeah.
But on the other end, there's this company that has these large cylinders and a lot of cylinders in the yard.
Mm-hmm.
I guess they're filling oxygen and hydrogen, right?
Mm-hmm.
But how could government give, like any, like, say, industrial business a license to operate?
Nexus.
In that regard, okay.
Cool. Okay.
That's a very good question for the folks at the Ministry of the Environment, I would imagine.
Like the paragraph of not being able to get oxygen when you die.
I got you.
You can't get air to breathe, but it could be that there, I guess, until somebody feels ambitious enough to introduce that oil to everything,
Gotcha.
and the whole neighborhood blow up.
Mm.
And I see government be more focused on that.
On
than
that,
to just
okay.
get cronies or whoever to come to them through politics to put something like that in such a neighborhood, man.
Okay.
That shouldn't be there. To be in the back of Carmichael or something.
Yeah. I get your point now.
Yeah.
I get your point
Okay,
now.
we see.
Thanks for
Yeah,
your
we
contribution,
definitely
sir.
see where you're going with that. That does sound a bit hazardous because if there is something that could take out, depending on how much of it they're storing there, that could take out a whole block.
Yeah.
If something is ignited, even if there's a small fire nearby, the bush catch a fire. That means that could take out the entire block.
Well,
so
it's like we had the car garages or junkyards in the neighborhood and caught a fire the other day.
Yep.
Same kind of dangerous situation. Fair enough.
yeah, but we see the headlines today, Davin, in the newspaper: prescription drugs dished out like candy. This is the Tribune saying that they uncovered callers.
Black market operation.
Y'all, okay, because I think everybody know. We ain't gonna call no names, but everybody know where you could get the little ampicillin. I tell them I grow up, and you go down the road by Mary, and you get your couple pills, your couple little black and red pill for the ampicillin. And we're seeing now that these places and a lot of these pharmacies are unregulated and giving out what is supposed to be prescription drugs to consumers. And I'm going as far as to say us, the consumers. You go there, you're ready, you chronically have, and I was explaining to Davin during the break that you go to the dentist, they give you these antibiotics. They know that antibiotics builds up yeast. But then they do not prescribe the difluca of like Flucon that would then get rid of this or work in tandem to prevent you from having this infection.
Yeah.
So now you're telling people, so as a woman, you know, you need to go. I've been to the dentist. They have me on antibiotics now for whatever whatever reason, dealing with my tooth.
Yeah.
I build up an infection. This is a common thing, so we all know what you get. You go to the pharmacy, you ask for that. But it is a prescription drug. When I was in Colombia, you don't need a prescription for that.
Okay.
You literally, they have like these pharmacies, and you walk right up to the window, and you literally could just get as much of that as you want. You don't need a prescription for that. So I feel like a lot of persons, Davin, are saying that you're now causing me another bill because you're prescribing me something that you know is going to cause another situation.
Yeah.
And now I need to go to see a
Physician
to get a prescription for this. And that ain't free.
Yeah. Caller, we've got to go to news break, and we will get you as soon as we get back. You're listening to Gabby and Darvin on Guardian Today. We'll be right back after the news break.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas. This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM.
.9 FM Guardian Radio Today. I ain't little mad, Wally. I little conflicted because I feel like some of the things that are on the prescription list need to be taken off of the prescription list. So maybe we could revisit what it is that we require prescriptions for still today. What do you think about that? You think that could help us?
In some countries, as you mentioned, some of the things that we have on prescription are off prescription. And in other countries, we have some that are not on prescription that they have on prescription. I don't know how frequently the pharmacy council or whoever regulates that revisits that list. But yeah, I agree with you. Maybe especially for the ones that have been in the market for a very long time and have been tried and tested, especially for antibiotics, for example, maybe you have the pharmacist be the one to decide whether or not you are a candidate for it or not. Yeah.
Caller, you're live on Guardian Radio today. Caller, are you there?
Caller, you're on the air.
Oh,
Sorry. You can go to the text messages.
Yeah, let's go to the text line. We have quite a few texts from you all. This text to say you can't see a doctor at PMH in a timely manner is policy failure. A decision was made that all public sector doctors must hold a specialty or be removed from the civil service. Many doctors don't pursue additional degrees, so they're pushed out. Most Bahamians can't afford specialists. And this texter says, most Bahamians can't afford specialists, and this creates a major access barrier. Meanwhile, doctors who've worked 3+ years in a department are labeled specialists by experience alone without formal qualifications. With proper supervision, these doctors are fully capable of delivering safe, effective care. The system limits access and undercuts fair compensation for real medical expertise. That is coming in from a texter. This next texter says, "Good day, Gabby and Davin. It's a great pleasure to listen to your communication and wise advice. Your patience and sense of understanding on varied issues is enlightening. We look forward to you both having the D and G show, a wonderful learning experience."
Our Trap Seed listeners.
They Trap Seed,
We appreciate it, though. I'm just messing.
So this next texter says, some things are zoned for specific areas like an industrial park. Unfortunately, rum and bars are near schools and people place their culture and sale in the middle of the streets. From human sales to everything else. What a time it is to be alive.
Caller, you're on the air.
How you doing?
We're fantastic. How are you?
Yeah, a question came up,
Yes, sir.
What does a livable wage mean?
It depends on who you ask on what day in the Bahamas sometimes.
Now, most of the folks who screaming and shouting now about a salary, right?
Yes.
Are middle class or better. Okay? Now, we have a problem is that our middle class is shrinking. Okay? I mean, like just last year, they had like a UB survey, right? On the middle class, right? And it was like 10,000.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, they needed to go back to the drawing board with that one. Yeah.
Yeah, now what was not spelled out is that survey was taken among persons who were paying rent.
Yes.
Okay? Now, as far as I know, when we talk about middle class, it's about having a mortgage.
Well, that's not a prerequisite to be middle class. How you choose to pay for housing or the nature of your housing is not relevant to whether you're middle class. It's a function of your income almost exclusively.
But if you're going to have a platform to get from where you are to where you
want to go,
from where you are to where you need to be, the issue of ownership comes up.
Okay.
In terms of you being able to transfer, to your children or your children's children.
Yes, sir.
Now, on the other end, we have this work permit thing where, like, a lot of the persons who come in here and apply have what we call middle class, it's like a middle class job. But most of that money goes out of the country. Okay, now I think we need to have a conversation about where we are going, because there are too many persons who live off the government, and poor or politicians or civil servants who have a job description. I mean, and they can't actually have this job outside of government.
Now, when you say there are too many people that live off the government, what does that mean exactly?
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Every 5 years,
Mm-hmm.
we have persons who enter politics.
Yes.
And what they enter and what they come out of politics with,
Mm-hmm.
and what they enter in with,
Mm-hmm.
there is no comparison.
Okay.
And this money comes from no place else but the public treasury.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you spoke of the folks who have these $40,000 and $70,000 pensions.
Yes.
That money has to come from someplace.
Mm-hmm.
So it's coming off the backs of somebody.
No, but I want us to be cautionary here, okay?
I know.
Yeah. So I get the point that you're making, but I want us to understand that if you are receiving a pension that was earned based on the rules that the pension office sets, that's not something that you created. The other point that I want to clarify for you, the $70,000 pension. No, I'm going to let you finish, though. The $70,000 pension mentioned was from the private sector. No government pensioner gets $70,000 in pension per year.
No.
Okay? So just to clarify, and that was something that one of the callers contributed. So go ahead with your contribution.
Okay. Preferably, that is the case.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? But with each 5 years, you got this revolving door, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where folks are let off, and then others are reappointed.
Yes, sir.
Right? But still, the bills that they incur are paid by the Treasury.
Okay.
In one way or another.
Yes,
so
sir.
I think this conversation about what a livable wage means. We need to just examine the whole spectrum.
No, and I thank you for your contribution.
Thank you so much, caller.
I do think that the livable wage is absolutely a valid conversation to be had, but we only look at it on the income side and not on the expense side. And let me argue the point. I'm of the view that because it's more difficult for the government to universally increase the minimum wage to become a livable wage without having inflationary pressure, the government should instead focus on a hybrid approach and look at ways where they can incrementally increase the minimum wage, but focus more on those two big bucket items that all Bahamians have to pay. Let's call it three, which is housing, the cost of housing, the cost of food, and the cost of electricity. And the government controls, or at least directly and tangentially control, all three of those levels. They essentially directly control electricity because we own the power company. They have tremendous influence over the cost of rent because they can insert themselves in the market and provide housing. And thirdly, from a food perspective, they can insert themselves directly either via subsidies on food or providing, as I already mentioned on the show, community gardens and spaces that, with a public-private partnership, you have persons in the community that will be responsible for managing, or some sector managing those gardens on behalf of the residents of that community. But great contribution so far. Gabby, any more text messages before we pivot?
we have lots of text messages. Some of them already getting political, so I'll save those for the remainder of the show. But this one says, Davin and Gabby, the both of you make fantastic talk show team. Keep up the great performance. Always like to be tuned in when you're on the air.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Texas. We always appreciate your feedback, even the constructive criticisms. Trust me, we read and listen to them. This one says, Gabby, I would give a perfect example. I am a SDA what's SDA, Davin?
What's the word to use?
SDA.
SDA.
I'm not certain. Text the spell that one out fast. 1 pack of beef hot dog is $8. 1 chicken hot dog, $3.
She ain't never lied.
All have 8 links.
Yeah.
But the veggie links will, with 8 cost $11. You're missing the point.
Yeah.
Poor people making $210 a week do not have no money
to buy
Many
veggie hot
people
dog.
still only eating noodles and cornflakes. They cannot afford those things.
That's real.
I can show you 300 of them today. Rent is $1,000, light is $200, and you making $210. Text to listen. David, I just opened up the classifieds while they were saying that, right?
Yeah.
And I just wanted to browse the for rent listing.
Yeah.
And I came across a very interesting one in a gated community.
Talk to me.
It's a 1-bedroom, 1-bath. Although all the utilities are included, let's be honest.
$1,800.
How much utilities you think you could use in a 1-bedroom, 1-story unit at that? Right? Single-story unit. It's also unfurnished.
Okay.
It has a ductless AC and ceiling fans. It's $2,500 monthly and $7,500 to move in. Can somebody say down payment? Firstly, I don't even have split levels, so I can't even see what heaven feels like if I want to poke my head out the window. This is a single-story unit. I don't care how much gates you could have. The gates are Gethsemane there. It don't matter. $2,500 a month.
That's strong.
Just $2,500 a month.
Yeah, that's strong.
They say mortgage gotta pay. And this
say
is
all utilities.
what...
Did they say all utilities?
They say all the utilities is included. But let's be honest, in a single-story building,
probably $300.
where they probably ain't want no children either. How much utilities you can really pull?
Light, water,
internet.
Cable, probably about $300. Yeah.
At most $300.
I got you. So that's $2,200. Cool. Call y'all on there. Call y'all on there.
Can't make this stuff up. Calling you live on Guardian Radio today.
Yes, good day, Gavi and Darwin.
Hey, Guy. How are you?
Hi.
Happy Monday.
Good, man. Gavi, I miss you on temperature day, man.
Gabby was under the covers, man. Gabby wasn't messing with us. Gabby don't come out on Sundays.
Your lineup again, man.
Yeah.
And I about to take a 10-day vacation. Catch me after Valentine's, okay? My birthday on Saturday.
I got you. But, Darwin.
Yes, sir.
Something earlier, right?
Yes, sir.
I think you all were speaking concerningly the poor people, them, right? I just want to share a scripture, right?
Yes, sir.
I don't know how you can take it, right?
No, man, go ahead.
I would share it with you. Jesus told his disciples that you let her do what she's doing. The poor will always be your friend. So I look at when people saying we have some poor people, right? Which is true. Are we helping the poor people? Or are we just talking about the poor people?
Yeah.
That has been my problem with plenty of people who just come on these talks.
Yes, sir.
Talking about, these poor people less than the government. Okay, I think the government job is to do things in House Assembly. But at the end of the day, I think the people who is speaking so independent, they the ones what I think need to take care of the poor.
Yeah.
You know, if we can't take care of the poor, who can take them? Take care of them. The government doing things to try and help everybody.
Yes.
We should do things to try and take care of the poor.
No,
and
great
if
contribution.
we do things to take care of the poor,
yes,
I think everybody will have a better understanding of how because I remember, I don't know how old you all is, right?
Yes, sir.
But back in the days, around in the 60s, right? I only want to throw this out there as an example.
No, go ahead.
You know, I never used to hear people talking about the poor, you know. You know what they used to be talking about? My brother, my sister. And the doors used to be open for everybody. You got to walk in anybody's house and eat a good meal. Sunday meal especially. You know? But I say that the same, man. I mean, I don't have no problem with people talking about it, but let's do something about it.
Agreed.
You know?
Well said. Thank you,
I
caller.
hope everybody will understand that. That's the only way we can help the poor.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that. That's a deep contribution, Darwin, because you really, even growing up, you know, I'm a 90s baby. And even growing up then, I could remember vividly being able to walk right in the yard to any neighbor's house, knock on the door, we could be fed. And it was okay
to ask
if you didn't have it. So instead of going down the road to say, you got to steal this or you got to steal that, it was okay to say, come here, child. But now that culture is like, do you even know who you live next door to?
Yeah, very true. That's very true.
I see the phone lines are lit up. We want to wrap up this portion of our conversation.
Child, you know our
because
callers don't let us wrap up.
after we come from the
wrap up when
break,
they finish.
we have to talk about these 13 ratified candidates of the PLP. We got to talk some politics before we get out of here because this is my last Monday for 10 days, y'all. And it hot. So caller, you're live on Guardian Radio today.
Yes, good afternoon to both of you.
Hey, buddy.
Yes, hey, Gavin, you mentioned something about the livable wage.
Yes.
I just want to let you know that in 2014,
Yes.
the livable wage came to $53,124.
Who calculated that?
Beg your pardon?
Who calculated that?
It's a whole survey. It's a whole comprehensive survey, including the cost of living and some other things. Here's the problem what we have to understand first, though. A livable wage is not the same as a minimum wage, right? When you look at a livable wage, it covers housing, which is rent or maintenance, right, of your housing. It's supposed to cover your utilities, electricity, water, and cooking gas. It covers food and basically a nutritious diet, right? It must cover transportation, right, basic mobility. It covers healthcare, which is just the thing you just spoke about, routine care, medicine, and realistic out expenses. It covers childcare. It covers education costs not covered by public school. It covers communications, whether it be mobile or basic internet and home service. It also has to cover general replacement of clothing and household goods.
Okay.
It also covers a contingency for emergencies and shocks, and some basics provisions such as savings account.
I got you.
And so when you hear people talk about this livable wage, you have to put it in context because a lot of them think it's just a salary.
Well, I think that, see, Alan, they get that language from the union heads that talk about livable wage in the context of something slightly north of the minimum wage. They're certainly not talking about it in the comprehensive way in which you just articulated. So those two numbers are so far apart for us to even consider it being a realistic public policy kind of proposal to think that we get to a $50,000 livable wage that the government facilitates in some way.
Yeah, it's in the 60s now, right? But I put to you that it is achievable. The problem is we're trying to get today's cost of living out of a yesterday's model, right, of the economy. So just look at tourism, right? We brag about how we went from 1 million tourists from the cruise ship to 12 million.
12 million,
But we ignore the fact that 450,000 stopover visitors has the same economic impact as the 12 million tourists. The 12 million cruise ship. So the question then becomes, why have we been stagnant for almost 30 plus years at 1.5 million stopover visitors? Because we haven't redesigned it. But just give me for 2 more minutes or less than a minute.
The phone's lit up. Yeah, go ahead. You got 30 seconds. Go ahead.
We talk about these things, right? We've talked about the last 15 years.
Yes.
The digital economy, the aquamarine economy, the conceptual economy, the knowledge economy, the green, carbon economy, blue economy, ocean economy, orange economy, and all of these different things, right? Now, believe it or not, out of 31 different economic models we have spoken about, 16 of them is implementable within 18 months. But I just want you to imagine this, right? Out of the 30. Forget that you're talking about building a model. What if we had leadership capable and competent of putting 500 people in each of those economic models? I didn't say like multiple, just say 500 in the digital, 500 in the aquamarine, 500 in the blue, 500 in the orange, 500 in the green. So we would then create 15,000 jobs where the baseline minimum salary is what we're trying to seek in livable wages. And so that changes the dynamics. Then you go for the 40,000 housing units we need in. That alone, if balanced properly while you develop your economy, will actually cover the cost of living, bringing the cost of rentals down to about $1 to $1.50 a square foot. But we don't have data, we don't have conversation from our leadership in database system, and we have it in isolation, electricity, housing, this. When all of them are interconnected as part of a a unique
Holistic cost of
ecosystem.
living.
It's kind of your lungs, your heart, your eyes, your feet. All these works in cohesion with each other. But as long as we keep isolating, complaining about the nail without getting off it, we'll keep feeling the pain.
Thank you,
so
Ciala.
much.
Caller, you're on Guardian today with Gabby and Darvin. How can we help? What's your contribution?
Yeah, I will call attention to the abbreviation for the FDA. That's the 7-day Adventist.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much. Someone
Yeah, thank you.
texted it
My
to
sister,
me.
my sister told me, and so did Gar. So thank you so much.
Thank you. We appreciate it. Listen, we are gonna get ready to go to our final break of the show, I believe, and we have 2 more breaks. Okay, so we got 2 more breaks, but when we come back, we're shifting gas. We are shifting gas because I cannot let God and Davin have all the fun. I gotta get a piece of this, and we're gonna talk about this fantastic 13, the final 13. I don't know, 13. They said that's a powerful number. They say these the people that can fix my problem.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The 12 plus 1.
We can talk about this after the break. You're tuned into Guardian Radio today. We'll be right back.
City of Miami Gardens presents JITG Music Fest. Janae Aiko, Ludacris, Ashanti, Nelly, Glorilla, LMA, Maya, Joe, D-Nice and Friends, featuring SWV, Donnell Jones, Case, Sunshine Anderson and Kenny Burns, Isley Brothers, El DeBarge, Stephanie Mills, and so many more. March 7th and 8th, Hard Rock Stadium. Tickets and info at jazzinthegardens.com. Jazzinthegardens.com.
Beulah gal, can you believe this? We are now the patrol queens of the neighborhood. We now large and in charge. So we need to check out what's going on in everybody's yard. What about that gun that we know that Junior and his homeboys just ran out? Can we report that too? Of course we can. But we could be in deep trouble if they find out. We need to report what we see, Beulah. When you call Crime Stoppers, they just answer your call in Miami. So then we can report everything? Guns, where they hiding the drugs, who shoot who part of which gang, or who disturbing the peace with the loud music and the motorcycles. Then our neighborhood will be the best in the Bahamas, and everybody gonna want to come live here. And then our house price will go up, gal. So what we waiting on? What's the number?
If you see something, say something. Let us all pitch in and stop the crime before it's your time. Call 328-8477 from Nassau or 242-300-8477 from the Family Islands. Or text us through the Crack Crime Bahamas app. Stop the crime before it's your time.
This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM.
.9 FM Guardian Radio today. You know, it's a marvelous Monday. I don't know if it's because we're in the month of February. You know, it's my birthday month. I'll be celebrating all month long.
All month long.
I get giddy. I just get excited. It's something about this month, you know. It's just a short and
It's the love
sweet
month, Gabby. That's what it is. It's the love
It's
month.
short and sweet.
Yes.
It's here and then it's gone. That's why I have to celebrate all month. So, as a matter of fact, y'all should be telling me happy birthday from today.
Happy birthday, Gabby.
I'm appalled that y'all have not started, you know, sharing the love. But anyway, it's okay. I got it. Y'all get it right. I know I can make my nice basket when I come back
I know that's right.
from God and Davin. I know they can
that's right.
they can
Fix
send
you
me
up.
all the love. I know
Fix you up.
Wally done got on. He looked like Cupid in here, looking like he about to shoot some arrows. I don't know where they going. But listen, it's time to turn up the heat in here. The PLP has officially said, game on.
Game on.
Boots are laced up, and over the weekend on Sunday, They've ratified their final 13 candidates. If you haven't seen today's Guardian newspaper, you want to pick up a copy because it has their beautiful faces.
Yeah.
There's some good-looking people, I have to say. I never hate them. There's some good-looking people on the front page of the Guardian today. We have Mr. Edward. Pronounce that last name for me.
Juan. Age is silent.
Juan. Where's he ratified for?
Edward went to.
Where did Edward go? We have to figure this out.
Wasn't he?
We have to figure where did Edward go?
I can tell you right
because Keno Wong went to St. Anne's.
Oh, okay.
So where did Edward?
Oh, Marco
go?
City, I think he was the Marco City guy.
Marco City.
Yeah.
This is interesting because that isn't a name I was hearing being called.
Okay.
For Marco City, so this one is new. Okay, so this is Marco City. Then we have Mr. Randy Roll for the new
Bimini
constructed seat of Bimini and Berry Islands.
Yeah.
The one they said not to send, but they sent anyway. Then we have Mr. Kingsley Smith.
West End.
He is looking to retain that seat. Then we have obviously. I coming back. We could top the charts with him. Top the charts with the senior man. So then we have Mr. Parko Deal. Where's he going?
I don't know.
Somewhere in Andros, I think.
I can check that while you go through the
Is he? Yeah, check that for me. I don't see Lundy. Lundy was already ratified, right? Was Lundy already ratified?
For which seat?
Don't worry. I know the PLP is supposed to call and set me straight in 2.5 seconds. So y'all set me straight. Where's Paco Deal is going to Central Grand Bahama. Okay, Mr. Deal. Central Grand Bahama. And Renika Knowles. Did she land that Long Island nomination?
Looks like she did.
Looks like Renika lands that Long Island nomination. Then we have I think this is Dr. Monique Pratt.
Okay.
She's going to East Grand Bahama, I believe.
Yes, she is.
Then we have the incumbent Ginger Moxie. She's looking to retain Pine Ridge. Then we have O.B. Roberts.
Southern Shores.
He got the nomination over media sensation Clint Watson. This is powerful. Then we have Mr. Keno Wong. I hope you noticed the set. I skip it over.
Yes, I do.
We have Mr. Keno Wong in there for St. Anne's. And then we have
Robin Lyons.
Hold on, I get to the powerhouse lady.
Okay.
I know I was saving the senior people for last.
Go ahead then.
But I could get to the powerhouse that is Glennis Hannah Martin down there in Angleston. And then we have this beautiful, illustrious face, whom we also know the voice from Guardian Radio Today, who was guest hosting the series on Friday.
Yes.
You will find out hopefully more information soon about that, what will be happening to the Friday shows, whether we'll be back or not over there on the Friday shows, because she was running a series, Miss Robin Lyons, attorney and former Senator Lyons. And then, of course, we have Deputy Prime Minister looking to retain the Exuma and Ragged Island seat, Chester Cooper. Chester Cooper. And then bringing it all the way up the rear, the leader himself, Cat Island homegrown, Mr. the Right Honorable. Is he Right Honorable?
The Right Honorable.
Right Honorable Philip Brave Davis. This the 13. Just the last 13.
Yeah.
And still, has the other two parties rounded off their candidates
this week?
Their list of candidates. Everybody seems to be rounded off this week.
Yeah.
Because from you see the government that set up their candidates, that means
game on.
They are ready to go. So these other parties, y'all got to stop playing around now. Whatever you're doing, you need to wrap it up, tie it in a bow, because at any moment, what's the minimum of time? 60 days?
After he dissolves the House, I think it's like 30 days after that is election.
So
you have to go register now. If you're not registered, you need to go register now.
Listen.
So one of the things, Gabby, I maybe Dwight has had them on already, but we have to have, when you get back maybe from break, have a show with the Parliamentary Registration Department, because I think the general public is confused about who needs to register anymore, and this sign-up thing, verify process, who needs to do that, and what is the process? Are we going to move
Transferring.
to these new biometric cards for this election? Is the old card
Oh, I
still
didn't sign
valid?
that.
So it's a very important conversation because you don't want to have that so late that people can't even go and register. We already know that we have a serious deficit of young people, first-time voters registering. Not a single person in my family under 25 has registered.
Wow.
Not one.
I drove my 18-year-old sister to the mall
Okay.
while I transferred
Okay.
to register.
Yeah, okay.
Because I'm like, I know better.
It's a serious thing.
I know better. So you can decide later what you're going to do and make up the pros and cons, but we're going to get you on that list
Yes,
first.
yeah.
So I think the thing with the PLP is they don't worry about pushing registration drives as much. The reason being is they know that
Their
PLPs are
demographic
going
is-
to show up.
And their demographic skews older,
Yes.
right?
So they know that they're going to show up. But it's going to be imperative for the other parties to really run up that voter registration
Yeah.
drive. I did not sign up for the biometrics card.
Okay.
It was an option. But one thing I did notice while I did my transfer process is the lady pushed me, slid me the form. She just told me to sign here. She didn't ask me. She didn't explain to me what I was signing.
Okay.
She didn't say that, could you read this before signing?
Okay.
She just said, sign here. And because of the intelligent and well-learned Bahamian that
you
I
are.
became, I've become, I read the form and I said, what is this? I said, this is optional and I'm not going to sign this, but however, you will transfer me. I will also note, though, that they are making, and I need the Parliamentary Register Department to come on and verify this information, because this is what I was told, that there was something passed. I don't remember, Davin, you can tell me
Yeah,
if you
sure.
remember seeing any legislation passed that first-time voters had to get the biometric cards.
Gotcha.
Absolutely had to.
Okay.
This is the information that is being told to these first-time voters when they register. So it was optional for me to sign it. But as somebody who was registering for the first time,
Yeah.
and I visited the mall locations because I want to be specific in case somebody from the Parliamentary Registration Department is hearing this. I visited the mall location, and this is what was told. They had to get it. Me, on the other hand, I had the option because I said, who's storing the data? Where's my information being stored? You have not given me any information to tell me, to make me feel safe that my identity as a Bahamian
It's going to be
is
preserved.
going to be protected and secured. So yes, I'm going to register to vote. No, I'm not giving you all permission to use my biometrics.
Gotcha. The talented 13.
So what do you,
Gabby, that's-
callers, I want to hear what you think about the final 13 picks, particularly in some of those hot seats. Obi Roberts finally got the PLP nomination after trying for some time. Last election, he would have tried for the Golden Gate seat, who he would have been unsuccessful to Pia Glover, who is actually doing a stellar job, might I add, in Golden Gate. She's going to be a tough beat in Golden Gate.
Okay.
There's going to have to be a move against her to get her gone. Just personally, from what I have seen her been doing, what I have known her to be doing, the stories that I've been told of her, she is doing an exceptional job caring for people in Golden Gate.
So you are old enough, although you're still young, to remember Shane Gibson.
Yes, he was
Do
the
you
last member
think
of Parliament.
that Pia is a better representative than Mr. Gibson was in Golden Gate?
Wow. You put me on the spot, David.
Yeah, because I think...
I have to really compare that.
And the reason why I ask it that way is because I do believe we have a fixation almost with current, as though it had never been done before. when we don't have an appreciation for history. We have had many good politicians that have lost elections.
Yes.
So I don't want anybody to be confused that because you're a good politician in the Bahamas, it means that your seat is secure.
It usually goes, though, Davin. It usually goes with waves and moves against
precisely my
the government.
Point. That's precisely my point.
With waves and moves against the government, we've seen persons like Leslie Miller. We've seen persons like former Prime Minister Christie
Yes.
get swept out.
Yes.
Swept out. And Leslie Miller, even now, when I traverse through Tall Pines,
yeah.
is still revered as one of the best members of parliament those persons in Tall Pines has ever had. That's just facts, people.
Yeah.
I'm not telling you what I believe. I'm telling you what the people in these communities continue to say. If you ask them who was the best member of parliament you've had, you're going to hear certain names come up. You're going to hear the Tennyson Wells down in Bamboo Town.
Yeah.
When you ask about who was the best member of parliaments that you've had. So it's up to now these new persons to create their legacy
legacies, yeah. No doubt
of good
about it.
representation. Caller, you're live on Guardian Radio today. Caller, are you there?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Good day, Gavin. Good day, Gabby.
Good day.
To reiterate what you were saying right there, Darvin, about Shane Gibson. Right? I grew up in that Golden Gate seat.
Okay.
And Shane was the best MP I've seen in a long time. But he actually, I mean, P doing a good job, but Shane doing a good job, but Shane did. And Shane get kicked out that seat. So I agree with what you saying, with your sentiments.
Absolutely.
Also in regards to what Gabby is speaking about with when the new persons go to register.
Yes.
I was at the Carmichael location transferring over. Me and my wife were transferring over to our son. He's 19 now, so this is his first time
Yes, sir.
voting.
Okay.
So he had, they said he had to apply for the
card. And
we had the option. We had the option to do it. We still did it. We still did it because we ain't really no criminals or nothing. So
Right.
we really, you have NIB and thing and all these facial things already in the system.
Yeah.
So I did not know no malice or
And
anything.
did you move from the last election to this current upcoming one?
Yes,
You also moved. Okay.
Yeah, I moved from another constituency into that Tall Pines constituency.
Okay.
Did they present?
Transferred.
I have a question. Did they present the document to you? Because the officer was unable to quote what particular part of the Constitution or orders that they were following, because civil servants are only allowed to follow and carry out orders. So when you say that this must happen, they were unable to present to me why it must happen and the documents that make this legal and lawful to happen. I have a problem with that. Parliamentary Registration Department, please print it, put it up. When was it passed in Parliament that this is mandated for first-time voters to receive these biometric cards? Is this being illegally pushed on to them?
Thank you for that contribution, caller, and your personal experience.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I told you. There was an option for me.
Yeah.
But the first-time voters, they were telling them, "Oh, no option.
Yeah,
you
and
have
he's
to do
echoing
this."
the exact same sentiment.
So, is this lawful to do, or is this something they thought they would slide under the radar because we want to get as much information as possible to track these people and their movements via their biometrics through the court system, etc. But the people that are already registered, we're not going to thrust that on them because they're going to give us a little bit more help. Caller, you're live on Guardian Radio today.
Hey, Gabby, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
And Davin.
Hey, buddy.
I can't listen to your show. I don't know where that caller going. I'm an F&M. Even though them and the F&M don't recognize me as such.
Yes, sir.
But I'm an F&M because I understand the philosophy of the party.
Yes, sir.
The party was founded on freedom of speech, freedom of expression, without fear of victimization and intimidation and harassment. That's what the dissident left the PLP to form.
Yes, sir.
But I heard the caller talk about beer. I'm not I'm just being straight up. I'm a resident of Golden Gate.
Okay.
And I heard you talk about Shane Gibson, but Shane Gibson was not an effective member of parliament.
Okay.
None of y'all can think about one program that Shane Gibson left after he would have lost Golden Gate.
Okay.
That was just perception.
Okay.
But us who live there, you know of any?
No. I'm curious to your point and perspective. So I'm just listening to you. So go ahead.
I don't know what he. I don't know.
I didn't live there, so
any effective program that he would have been running.
Okay.
But then when I look at Pia,
Yes,
you know,
sir.
like I like to be fair. You know, I try to be fair. Woman is doing a yeoman's job in her second term as a member of parliament.
Okay. And what makes Pia a good representative for you?
I don't get that.
What makes her a good representative versus Shane, or just a good representative versus others that you know of?
Because you can look at programs, you can see that she's running.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
she's renovating the park. She has a senior citizen program.
Okay.
Where she assists. You know, she have a food voucher program where persons can who fall on hard times
Yes, sir.
can access these type of benefits.
Okay.
Then when you look at what she is doing today, that farmers market out there, people was trying to get that. I mean, successive members of parliament would try into. I know folks in this last people from a farmers market committee to address the farmers market. It was supposed to be a revitalization, but nothing was done. Never done. But today they had groundbreaking. They're supposed to be doing phase 2 of that, where they're supposed to be tearing down those old buildings.
Yes.
And they're going to put a state-of-the-art farmers market right here in Golden Gate.
And this is the one adjacent to the Super Value Shopping Center?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
You know, it's been an eyesore for decades.
Yes.
It's been a problem. But she had a groundbreaking. I mean, she's doing a whole lot in her first term. You know,
No,
and
I appreciate that.
I'm not you know.
No, I got you. No, but but that's why I
speaking as
asked
a
Gabby the
resident of
question the way I
46
ask
years
it
in
to
this
her,
area.
you see? Yeah.
And
But thank you for your contribution. Yes,
So
sir.
don't buy into that concept about Shane would have been an effective member of parliament. That was just perception.
Fair enough.
He did very little in terms of. And then, as a matter of fact, I've been told that anyone who wants a job can go and get a job under this lady's watch. So let's be fair and call it for what it is. You know.
Thank
I appreciate your
She's doing a
contribution.
good job.
Thanks,
Thank
Guy.
you so much. Yeah, Davin, I've actually transferred out of Golden Gates
Okay.
into my new constituency,
Okay.
but my mother's house is there.
Still there. Okay.
And when we get back from the break, I'll tell you a little bit of some of the programs that I've seen her engage
Operate.
in.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. We'll be back, folks.
City of Miami Gardens presents JITG Music Fest. Janae Aiko, Ludacris, Ashanti, Nelly, Glorilla, LMA, Maya, Joe, D Nice and Friends, featuring WV, Dial Jones, Case, Sunshine Anderson, and Kenny Burns, Isley Brothers, El DeBarge, Stephanie Mills, and so many more. March 7th and 8th, Hard Rock Stadium. Tickets and info at jazzinthegardens.com. Jazzinthegardens.com.
Beulah gal, can you believe this? We are now the patrol queens of the neighborhood. We now large and in charge. So we need to check out what's going on in everybody's yard. What about that gun that we know that Junior and his homeboys just ran out? Can we report that too? Of course we can. But we could be in deep trouble if they find out. We need to report what we see, Beulah. When you call Crime Stoppers, they just answer your call in Miami. So then we can report everything? Guns, where they hiding the drugs, who shoot who part of which gang, or who disturbing the peace with the loud music and the motorcycles. Then our neighborhood will be the best in the Bahamas, and everybody gonna want to come live here. And then our house price will go up, gal. So what we waiting on? What's the number?
If you see something, say something. Let us all pitch in and stop the crime before it's your time. Call 328-8477 from Nassau or 242-300-8477 from the Family Islands. Or text us through the Crack Crime Bahamas app. Stop the crime before it's your time.
Get ready for the biggest football game of the year, Super Bowl 60. We have the best seat in the house for you. Join Star 106.5 All-Star Team live at Anthony's on Paradise Island on Super Bowl Sunday, February 8th from 2 to 6 p.m. Enjoy giant screens, delicious fun food, ice-cold Calig Bear specials, prizes and surprises non-stop. It's the place to be for Super Bowl Sunday. Anthony's on Paradise Island. Watch the Patriots take on the Seahawks.
Touchdown! Seahawks!
The Star 106.5 All-Star Team will be there to cheer you on from 2 to 6 p.m. It's the biggest Sunday of the year for the biggest game of the year, Super Bowl 60, live at Anthony's on Paradise Island. Don't miss it.
.9 FM, Guardian Radio today. Davin and Gabby in your company on this marvelous Monday, my last one for the next 2 Mondays before I return. But we were just chopping it up before we went to the break on this final listing of candidates, and we ended up talking about some of those great MPs or those outstanding members of parliament and some of the work they're doing in Golden Gates happened to come up, and we were just concluding our thoughts on the Honorable Pia Glover role and some of the programs that she has introduced in that area. I remember I was passing by, because we were kind of doing a temperature check, and I was passing by the office and I noticed children, school-age children, coming to the office. Like nobody saw me. I was in my vehicle and I just watched it for a while. And they kept coming there and they were leaving with food, like plates of food. And I was trying to figure out, well, what is this? So I stopped someone and I asked them, I said, what y'all getting over there? And they said she has a after-school lunch program.
Okay.
So children who may not have eaten all day, there are particular days through the week that after school they know when they're passing, so they're walking home. They stop there, grab their food, so that may be lunch and dinner for them. By the time as they get home. I know personally my mother, who has been ill, fighting heart problems for a very long time. I know personally that her office has been there looking out and caring for my mother. Personally, as a resident of Golden Gates with a chronic illness and condition. So it would be unfair of me, it would be nasty of me for me to come on here and say that that woman isn't working for the residents in her constituency. There's a list and a host of things I can say personally that I know she has been doing.
Okay.
So I want, as a first-time minister, and as someone, and the women tend to get more flack, Davin. They get held hard. It's like these men could just go up in there with nothing in their head, bird brain, sit in the chair, fuck, eat, and sleep all day, and nobody saying nothing. But the women, they want to drag them through the mud. And sometimes now, I ain't saying this, but all of them.
No, I hear you.
All y'all ain't covered by this now.
Yeah, I hear you.
They ain't working hard. Some of the attitude nasty. But this one, she is really working for people irregardless of their political affiliations. And I can say that for a fact.
I think that's what made Leslie Miller so endearing. That's also what makes the leader of the opposition, Mr. Pentard, so well liked. Because when you elevate above a certain standard, so few politicians are represented in that way that they almost bulletproof their political constituencies in favor of their candidacy. It's very difficult to beat those kinds of people in an election, and that's quite frankly the kind of representative that you want in Parliament anyway. Caller, you're on Guardian today with Gabby and Darvin.
Hi, good afternoon to you both.
Hi, how are you?
Thanks. I am enjoying the program.
Thank you. Are you a first-time caller? We don't know this voice.
First-time caller.
Okay.
I wanted to just chime in my little 5 cents.
Yes, ma'am.
It's a compliment, really. Both Darvin and to Gabby. Trust me. I love your impartiality.
Thank you.
You are very, very impartial. When I say that, not showing any bias in any, especially in the political thing. It is very, very gratifying that persons can call in and give their comments and their opinions and all of that. And you guys just stay same level.
Yeah.
There is no tension, no, you can't sense nothing, even if you're mad with the people talking.
Yeah.
It isn't showing, and that is so gratifying.
Thank you so much for saying that. We try very hard to do that.
So gratifying to listen to.
The one thing that I could truly say about our callers, though, on this show and on the Sunday show with Garth and I, is that we have very respectful callers and texters, and we don't Yeah, we really try to keep the discourse at a higher level. So we appreciate that.
That is trust me, that is so beautiful because I have listened to other programs where they just, the tone of voice changed,
Yes,
the
sir.
attitude changed,
Yes, ma'am.
and some people just got hung up on
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
You know, and I'm like, no, y'all ain't supposed to be doing that, you know?
Right.
But, yeah, I really, I listened to the persons calling in earlier, and y'all just, you know, stay tuned.
Thank
y'all
you so
just
much.
Stay calm, and, you know, they didn't show any partiality at
Yes,
all.
ma'am.
And that is beautiful.
We appreciate you
That
so
is
much for saying
beautiful.
that.
And
You made
I
my
love
Monday.
Gabby energy. My Lord.
Love it.
My girl have plenty energy, child.
It's infectious. I need y'all to catch it. Catch it. Thank you so much. We look forward to you calling back in again and being a part of the conversation as we move forward throughout this season and into the next. But I want to get some of these. Text us in.
Go ahead, Gabby.
Davin, the texts say, free breakfast and lunch meals provided by MPs at schools encourages freeloaders and beggars in our communities. This is not good, in my opinion. But sometimes these are the only meals these people have access to.
Well, I mean, I understand the call, what the caller may be saying, and I do think that it's a line, right? That a politician has to deftly navigate, because you don't want to be overly enabling, right? But at the same token, I think Pia and others who do that, I think Dr. Fox does it in Fox Hill. You're doing that because, to Gabby's point, you want to supplement what's going on at home. So if she was doing it maybe every single day for every single meal, I could see you making that commentary. But because she's doing it periodically but consistently, people know that this is the day that I'm going to go and patronize. And I think it's laudable. It's
Speaking
laudable.
about Dr. Fox's thing, my niece lives in Fox Hills. So my 6-year-old niece tells my mom she was passing and she was reading the sign on the billboard, a very affluent reader.
Yeah.
And she said, "We work for you." She was like, "Mommy, what the day is? Where my hot dog and plantains?" So she already knows the day. And she looks forward to that because it's an outing. It's something where you get to engage with your community stakeholders. So at a very young age as well, these people know who their representatives are, who their officials are, and they're able to really connect with them and their communities because you're meeting other residents there. And so I like the programs that they're offering.
No, I do too.
And I think they really help the people. I want to get this last text message in.
Well, we didn't go on.
Before we go, this time goes. It says, MP Pia has proven that she is a transformer nationalist and she stands up for people from baby students to adults. She works hard and she is a family woman, and her husband and children support her 100%. And we have a lot of text messages. Me and
Sorry,
Davin will
guys.
read
We
them
try our
later.
best. We really do.
Yes. And Davin, any final words before we get out of here?
I just want to say happy early birthday to you, my friend. Be safe on the water and come back to us in one piece.
And
Enjoy
because I
your
can
vacation.
take Guardian Radio with me
Yes.
on the water, I will be streaming live, listening to you
I
guys.
love it.
And y'all better play my birthday song, Wally. I want to hear my happy birthday from Puzzle
Sunday then.
next week. I want to hear it. I could be listening. I could call. Don't make me make an international phone call for you.
Have a great Monday,
Have
everybody.
a great Monday. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you guys when I get